We didn't say yes because we wanted to. We said it because we didn't have any other option when they arrived. Two of them, I didn't say anything, I just let them come inside and my husband had to watch it all. Quick note: this story goes a little darker than usual. It's something different and I hope you'll stick with it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here. Alright, let's get into it. We can still back out, he said quietly, like he was talking to himself. I didn't respond. My eyes stayed on the floor, following the lines in the carpet I'd vacuumed twice already. I needed something to do with my hands, anything to stop myself from thinking about what was coming. We don't have to do this, he said louder. I took a slow breath through my nose. Yes, we do. He turned toward me on the couch. His leg was bouncing fast. I could see the fear in his eyes. He was still hoping for another answer, any other answer. We always find a way, he said. Not this time. I told him. I looked right at him then. Really looked. The man I married, the man who used to make me feel safe, now sitting beside me, scared of what I was about to do. You don't get it, I said. There's no more time. We need the money. This is the only choice left. The words felt sharp in my mouth. We'd had this talk so many times before, but it still hurt to say I didn't want this. God, I didn't, but what we needed and what we wanted weren't the same anymore. He shook his head and grabbed his knee like he was trying to keep himself grounded. I can't believe we're actually doing this, he whispered. Me neither, I said. I blinked fast. My throat felt tight. I wasn't calm. I was holding it all in. You think I want this? I asked. My voice broke a little. I hate even thinking about it. The room was dead quiet. Even the walls felt like they were waiting. My heartbeat was loud and my ears pounding like it was trying to break free. He leaned forward with his elbows on his knees and stared at the floor. I'll stay, he said. I'm not letting you be alone with them. I know if you want to stop we can, he offered. He looked up at me. His mouth was open like he wanted to argue, but he didn't say anything. I ran my hands down the front of my dress. They were shaking. My skin felt tight. Time slowed down, like we were standing at the edge of something huge. Then came the knock. It echoed once. I didn't move, just kept breathing steady and slow, trying to convince myself I could handle this. I stood up first. I heard him shift behind me, not wanting to move but doing it anyway. Then I felt his hand touch my shoulder just for a second, just enough to say, I'm still with you. I walked to the front door. When I opened it, they were already looking at me. Two men, one older, maybe around taller than I thought he'd be. The other one was younger, thinner, sharper looking, about my age. They didn't smile, no introductions, no questions. They just stepped inside like they'd done this before. My husband followed behind them quietly and shut the door. No one spoke. They didn't look around or ask anything. One of them dropped a small black bag by the wall. I didn't ask what was in it. I already knew. This way, I said. My voice was steady. I made sure of it. I led them down the hallway. I could hear their heavy steps behind me, slow and steady. My husband stayed close. He kept pace with me. When we reached the bedroom, I stopped for just a moment. Then I opened the door and went inside. The lights were dim. The bed was neat. The sheets were pulled back like it was part of a routine. I heard the door shut behind us. He didn't leave. My husband walked to the armchair in the corner, sat down slow, placed his hands on his knees and stared ahead. I didn't look at him. Instead, I bent down and took off my shoes, setting them next to the bed. My hands were steady behind me. I heard soft sounds, fabric moving. They were undressing, calm, like this was nothing new to them. I stood at the side of the bed, back straight, arms down, and waited. I stared at the wall across from me. I felt the younger one approach. Before I saw him, he didn't speak. He reached up and brushed my hair gently off my shoulder. His hand lingered, warm, familiar, but wrong in every way. I didn't flinch. Then he leaned in and kissed me software. Measured a test. I didn't kiss him back. I didn't pull away. I let it happen. I didn't move at all. Then the older one stepped forward. Their hands found me before I could react. Deliberate, fast, without pause. The straps of my dress slipped from my shoulders, the fabric pulling at my feet like it had nothing left to do. I didn't reach for it. I kept my arms at my sides. This wasn't about them. It wasn't about me either. It was about what we needed. The younger one leaned in, warm breath brushing my skin. His grip followed, firm, unmeasured, not searching for approval. The older one dropped lower, steadying me from behind. His breath found the space. I tried not to acknowledge. I clenched my jaw. Stay still. Get through it. Don't feel. I stared at a crack in the wall, a dent in the molding. Anything that didn't move. They didn't speak. They didn't slow. I wasn't a person to them, just something to act on. I didn't flinch. I didn't close my eyes. The younger one stepped away and laid back on the bed, waiting, like this had all been planned before we even opened the door. The older one turned my face toward him, then gently but without question he guided me downward. I paused briefly, not to resist, just to breathe. Then I let it happen. No sound, no protest. I followed the motion like it had been rehearsed. Then they shifted me again, hands at my waist, lifting, turning, lowering. I was placed over the younger one, exactly where he expected me to be. My palms rested on his chest for balance. That was all. He shifted beneath me, sudden and unhesitating. I inhaled once, held it behind me. I felt the other one move closer, his hand curled around the back of my neck. The other reached forward, steadying me again. I didn't speak, didn't push back. One moved below me, the other kept his hold. They didn't ask and I didn't feel. Not yet. Keep breathing. Don't think, don't react. Then more shifting. They moved me off and turned me onto my back. The older one leaned over first. The younger one followed, hovering above. There was no rhythm, just movement, just repetition. My head rolled with the motion. My hands clenched at the fabric beneath me. Still, I kept my face still, but inside something was loosening. It crept in, the tension, the strain. I tried to block. I turned my head. My husband was still in the corner, still present, still distant. I closed my eyes, took one breath. Then they moved me again. Now I was on all fours. The younger one leaned back against the pillows. The older one adjusted my stance from behind. They weren't coordinating, just acting. Their hands held me steady, one guiding, one controlling. There was no space left to choose anything. They moved harder, closer, in sync. My elbow slipped, my breath hitched. I was unraveling. I tried to stay cold, tried to stay still, tried to hold it back. One more second, just one more, but I couldn't. I shattered. I was still trembling. They were still moving, surrounding me, consuming what I hadn't already lost. Their rhythm didn't falter, like nothing had just broken inside me. My arms were weak, my breath came in shallow bursts. And when I lifted my head, I saw him, my husband, still in the chair, still here. But his eyes weren't on me, he stared at the floor, expression blank, mouth parted. Slightly hands limp on his knees, he wasn't gone, not physically, but something in him had started to drift, not from the room, from me. I looked away, but they didn't. They adjusted me without speaking. One man shifted back, the other moved beneath me, hands guiding me into place like it was something practiced, something done before. I straddled the younger one, my knees weak beneath me, my legs trembled with the memory of what had just been taken. I tried to center myself, to steady my breathing, to recover control, but I felt the other one closing in from behind, deliberate, certain. His hands lowered me slowly, guiding me with careful pressure until I felt it sharp. Unexpected, I gasped. My hands went to the younger man's chest, instinctively searching for balance, but he didn't pause. He pressed upward, measured, unrelenting, and the pressure bent my back, pulled a sharp breath from my throat, forced my lips apart. Still I didn't make a sound, not yet. I locked my jaw, tensed, every muscle I had left tried to vanish into stillness, but they didn't let me. The younger one moved first, shallow at first, then stronger. His hands clutched my hips, keeping me aligned with his motion. The one behind me stayed buried deep, rotating gently, drawing out tension until I felt like I was being pulled in two. I bit down hard, dug my nails into the chest beneath me, willed myself to stay blank, but they didn't care. I was moving, dragged into one rhythm while stretched by another. The tempo rose, my skin burned, my breathing broke. I could feel myself being pulled to a place I didn't want to return to. And then it happened, sudden, harsh, unwanted. A sound escaped before I could stop it, loud, real. I slapped a hand over my mouth, horrified, but it was too late. They heard it and they answered. Their tempo surged, their grip tightened, the weight of their bodies pressed in harder. I tried to hold steady, to stay silent, to resist the building tension, but I was already unraveling. Another crash overtook me, harder this time, deeper. I couldn't contain it. My spine arched, my head dropped forward, my voice cracked out, guttural, sharp, soaked in guilt. And when I opened my eyes, the chair was empty. He was gone, and I hadn't even noticed him leave. I'd been too caught in it, too loud, too far gone in that truth. It shattered something inside me I hadn't even protected. They didn't let me linger in it. I was turned again, lifted, lowered my back to the mattress. One of them took his place between my legs, moving without delay. The other leaned in above me, one hand resting at my throat, the other guiding my head toward him. I couldn't stop it, I couldn't even slow it. They moved in unison, methodical, practice certain. I tried to stay quiet again, but the sounds forced their way out, gasped, sharp exhales, broken noise that didn't sound like mine. I clenched my lips shut, bit down harder. Don't give them more, don't let it rise again, don't let them know what it's doing to you. But every time I locked down, they forced more from me. The one above held firmer, the one below drove harder, faster. Unforgiving, my fists gripped the sheets, my head thrashed against the pillow. Hold it, but I broke the force. Hit me like a flood, violent, unstoppable, absolute. My body arched, my throat opened wide. The sound that left me was primal. And then silence. I collapsed, boneless, breathless. I didn't remember the lift, only that I was suddenly in the air, held between them, body moving in rhythm with theirs, limbs slack, one behind one, beneath, unrelenting, total. There was nothing left in me to fight with. Their pace never faltered, the weight, the push, the way they took everything. It cracked me open. I didn't rise, I fractured, and as My voice left me again. I felt the last of my strength vanish with it. The one behind tightened his grip, breath heavy. In my ear the one below locked his arms, pulled me tight and groaned low. Then they let go. I fell to the bed bare, shaking hollow. I didn't move, I couldn't. My chest rose once, then again, fragile, empty, and as the last of their heat left my skin, the shame took its place. It came fast, sharp, total. They dressed in silence. The door opened, closed, and I stayed there, not just emptied but ashamed of how much I gave. That's the end of the story. This one was a little darker than usual, something slightly different from what I normally share. I'd really love to hear your thoughts. Did it work for you? Was it too far off? Drop a comment and let me know. Your feedback means a lot. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and hit subscribe. Thanks for being here. It really does mean the world.